Yes, a library is a big place full of books, and isn't that great? But libraries also do a lot more. I know we're particularly proud of our programming at the Mill Valley Library, and that can be everything from local history presentations to book clubs to story times. Well, the coronavirus still stalks the land as of the recording of this video, and we can't have a lot of that physical programming in our building like we used to for now. But we've taken the show online. Maybe you've already attended a few of our digital online programs. Maybe you haven't. And if you haven't, now's the perfect time to dip the old toe in because we're ramping up what we're offering. If you're joining us for our virtual programs, a lot of the sign-up procedure will look the same. But then we get to the event itself. The library is using Zoom to do a lot of these events. I'm sure you've heard of it. It was a semi-obscure company doing video conferencing software before the pandemic, and then all of a sudden it's the one. But I have to say, it does have the most full feature set of all the ones we looked at, and we went with Zoom too. It's not always the best choice for every application, and maybe that's a topic for another video. But you, us, Zoom, here's how to do it and to join us for our various events. Let's go through getting set up to join a Zoom meeting. Now, before you have your event, if you know you're going to go to a library event, I recommend getting yourself the Zoom client. Be proactive. Go to zoom.us/ that's a / download. And Zoom will feed you the Zoom client for meetings that's appropriate for your system. I've got a little Mac here, so it's going to give me a PKG file, which will install the Zoom program, the client, as they call it. I may need to put in my administrator password. This is just the password you sign into your computer with. It would be inconceivable if you're not a local administrator. All right, installation is successful. We have Zoom. What about that Zoom installer? That package file that we got, we can just throw that in the trash. Zoom pops up. And from here, we can join our meeting if we want to put in the meeting ID specifically. We can do this without a Zoom account, but you could also sign in instead. Let's see, Zoom also wants to send notifications. Sure, I don't know that. We could sign in here with our Zoom account or use Google or Facebook as one of those kind of OAuth outside authenticators. If you have a Google account, you sign in instead with that in a little window that pops up. And then Zoom says, okay, Google says you're all right. So you can have an account here too, linked to that. Anyway, I recommend having your own accounts at different places. I just don't like the dependencies. What if something goes wrong? I've had things go wrong in the past. Anyway, you could sign up for your Zoom account if you and Zoom, if it's an ongoing thing, if you and Mrs. Zoom, you got a thing going on. Oh, I'm sorry. Here you'd sign up with your email address. You'd read this code, which apparently a bot or a robot can't do, so we know you're a human. And you can sign up and get a Zoom account. The benefit to doing that is you can schedule meetings ahead of time. You can set up your own little contacts in Zoom and kind of have your own little world there. If you're going to use Zoom a lot for this or other purposes, it may be worth doing, but you don't have to, although they push it and they make it seem like you would want to. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. And to show you what joining a Zoom, in this case a webinar, but a Zoom webinar or meeting would look like, you get a link here. It'll be this something.zoom.us and then a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah. This is the meeting ID and the password wrapped up in a secretive code here. So the password is baked into this link. If for whatever reason the passcode doesn't work and it asks you again, you'll also be provided the passcode later. But this link should do it all. When you follow this link, and I'll say yes to my email provider, that's okay. All right. Because we installed the Zoom app, it just popped it open. The web page handed it off to Zoom. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. What if you don't have Zoom installed yet, right? And you just get here. You have two ways you can go. You can download and run Zoom right from here, right? This will take you to, that'll give you, there it'll serve you up that package to install the client. If you really just don't want Zoom installed, you're just here to watch this webinar, you don't want to be in the Zoom lifestyle, you already use another program for your web meetings, or you're just not interested in having those. They don't put it front and center, but it is here, the option to just join from the browser. Here we put in our name. My name is Fako Nemo. And more tests, human tests, Turing tests. 2x, is that a C? Oh dear, I failed. I might be a robot. Pretty confident about that one. Oh, my name. My name, yes, I have a name, and it's a good name. It's Nemo McFako. Aha. It'll autofill this meeting passcode. I don't know why it does that in that way, but my email is also emailo@fako.com. And now we can join. Don't say that. We can join with computer audio, which means we'll get the speaker sound, and we're in the webinar. And isn't it wonderful? This is the best webinar I've ever seen. A webinar is not like a meeting. If you are an attendee, you won't be talking. You won't be on video. You're here to watch. So your audio setting is just the speakers. Your options to interact, you can raise your hand to let panelists and hosts know that you'd like to be paid attention to. They could enable your microphone if you also agree, and then you can ask an audio question if it's set up that way. Otherwise, you can chat with text. Hi, everyone. To all panelists and attendees, or you can change that to just the panelists. So this is like the audience and the panelists, or just the panelists. That is the featured people. Or you can use this Q&A. This is a specialized chat. What is the ground speed of an unladen swallow? You could choose to send it anonymously if it's sensitive, or send. And the panelists will see this. That won't show up in the chat. So the panelists can decide, they'll collect questions maybe over the course of the event and then do Q&A at the end. That's the way we've done events in the past. Other than that, you just sit back and enjoy. And how could you enjoy anything in the world any more than this? Let's leave. Now, I'd also like to take a quick look at what a meeting is versus a webinar. I'm going to follow this link that I've sent to myself for a meeting. We'll get the familiar page where it throws it off to, oh, hello, how you doing? Made myself very blurry. Let's join with video. Okay, and you'll run smack dab into this. The meeting host will let you in soon. One of Zoom's security features to make sure people can't just wander in and then do disgusting and shocking and horrible things, which people want to do for some reason, is a waiting room. This means you will quietly queue up in a room, and then the host will sweep you all in when they are ready. And the host can also banish you to the waiting room if you misbehave. So make sure to be on your best behavior. I will mind my P's and Q's, stick out my pinky finger, and wait for the host, which is also me, to let me in. Great, we're in. Oh, it's this guy again. We have the options for our audio. It's you could join on a phone if you just want to listen in, or if that's what you're stuck with. I mean, like just, hello, a phone, rather than a smartphone running an app. Here we'll join with the computer audio. Hi, everybody. I can dimly hear over in Studio B, the other room over there, that my voice is going through to that computer. This guy, he's doing his thing, though. I don't know if I'm going to get his attention. Let's make this big. And here's me over here. You can see down here that I'm talking, and the computer knows I am. You can see the little level jumping up and down. I could quickly mute myself if I need to cough or say something like, hey, this guy, he's nuts. I don't like him very much. And then unmute myself again. I could stop my video. And then other people would just see my name or any picture that I've added as my profile picture if I have a Zoom account. If you try to talk while you're muted, Zoom will say, hey, buddy, you're muted. Remember, you can unmute yourself. This isn't going to be a deep dive into Zoom, but let's take a look at some things we can see. We can see a list of who's in this meeting. Right now it's just 2 people. I turned on these nonverbal things. You may not see these, and I've never used them. I like to turn on lots of extra features. That's just me. We could record the meeting if we have permission. That's something the host sets. You can give reactions like, ta-da, and they show up here. In a meeting, someone can share a screen so they can show what they're looking at on their computer, and in which case it would make it big, and you'd see everyone else in these little things down the side. Most important, though, is to know to mute yourself or unmute yourself. And if you need to switch between your different audio devices, there aren't many here. If you did have several things, you could try an external microphone if you added it, or a different camera if you had it. This is just the built-in one. That's the essentials, and that'll get you going. You can see everyone and hear everyone in your book club or whatever. And one more thing. We're looking just at this guy, and he's having a great time. But this might not be the best view. This view will follow who's speaking. Great if everyone's taking turns, and if you really want to focus on that one person. But if there's background noise or something, or you just want a sense of everyone else and how people are reacting, go up here to View and switch to the gallery view. This isn't much of a gallery. There's only 2 of us. But you'd see everyone here all in a big grid. And sometimes that may be the way you want to experience the meeting. More perhaps another time, but this is the basics to get you going. We'll leave the meeting. Franklin, you dweeb. Why are you showing me all this computer stuff? I don't have a computer. So you think, my friend, but it's 2020, and you probably actually do have a computer, even if it's a small, flat computer. And don't worry, there's a Zoom app available for your thingamajigs and your doohickeys. Zoom is available as an app on your iPads and your Android devices and such. I'll go looking for it in the App Store. Remember that search in Apple stuff, at least, is on the bottom right, which is crazy. I'll look for Zoom. And there's Zoom Cloud Meetings. I've already installed it, so I'll just open. All right, I will join a meeting, and this time just tap in the numbers and such. Give me a moment. All right, let's join with video. I look great. I look perfect. Look perfect. My hair's perfect. Clothes perfect. Everything perfect. Ah, the waiting room. As Daniel Tiger says, we wait in the waiting room. And here we are. Yep. Oh boy. Things are going to look a little bit different as far as your controls and your options, because, these aren't computers. Where's the keyboard? Where's the mouse, right? These make more use of the touch screen. So let's take a look at what things look like on those screens. I mean, I could watch this all day, but here's the general way to bring up your controls. Tap in the center of the screen. See how that brought in all these things like switch to gallery view over here on the left? I tapped that. Now I can see us side by side. They went away, so I'll tap them. I can switch the camera on these devices and look behind me and see fascinating things like a networking switch and some weird nerd garbage. All right, and I can come back. I can stop my video and unmute up here, and mute and unmute up at the top, like that. Share content. I can share my screen. Well, the host could. You probably won't have to do that. And also from this menu, I can see the participants and do my interaction. And the 3 dots is more, of course, And from there, we can do things like change our virtual background, which is super important. Or, and this is probably wise at this point, up in the top left, leave. And pro tip, sports fans, if you are in a meeting where there are a whole lot of people and you can't see everyone on one screen, swipe. Don't forget to swipe as one of your options, and when you're trying to figure out what does this do, particularly on a phone, swiping back and forth gives you access to more options. Good gravy, Franklin, you say? I got distracted. I was washing my hair. I had to comb the poodle, and I missed the event. I'll never see it now. Take it easy. Relax. Now, not book clubs and such, but a lot of our events, any of the presentations, things that it would make sense for us to do this, we will put the event up on our YouTube page so you can watch it later whenever you want. We even have content we make just for YouTube, like this. Oh my word, did you even know that we were up to so much? Please come by and visit us on the interwebs, sign up for some virtual programs, and join us for them, won't you? And don't forget to take advantage of curbside pickup for all your physical item needs. And leave a $100 bill in the tip jar for old Franklin, all right? Because I want to buy myself something nice.